18 million views before lunch. That's what happens when you promise the impossible and package it perfectly. One post, one transformation, 3 months that supposedly changed everything. The comments section exploded with thousands begging for the program, while emergency rooms across 3 continents were quietly treating teenagers for supplement overdoses and dehydration from trying to replicate what they'd seen on their screens. This is an example of the fitness industrial complex in full bloom, a global machine valued at approximately $87.12 billion in 2023 that grows stronger every time you doubt yourself in the mirror. We're living through the great fitness paradox. We have more workout information than any generation in history, more apps, more influencers, more studies are published daily. And yet, we're more confused, more injured, and more likely to quit than ever before. The number? 40.91%. That's how many people who start an exercise program will drop out within the first 3 months. This isn't a failure of willpower. This is a system designed to churn through bodies like raw material. The trend cycle has accelerated to an absurd pace. What once might have dominated for years now barely lasts weeks before the algorithm demands fresh content. This acceleration isn't accidental, it's profitable. When nothing works long enough to actually work, you stay in the market, perpetually searching, perpetually buying. The pattern repeats endlessly. Cold plunges, brutal high-intensity interval training workouts, competitive fasting disguised as biohacking. Each trend carries a kernel of legitimate science, then gets amplified into something extreme and dangerous. The result? Hospitalizations, cardiac events, a generation with impressive muscles attached to structurally compromised joints, because patience doesn't go viral. Behind this machinery operates a sophisticated psychological apparatus. Social proof is weaponized. Urgency is manufactured through countdown timers. Community is commodified. Join this trend and you'll finally belong. The creators perpetuating these cycles aren't necessarily villains. They're trapped in the same system, where a measured post about consistency gets thousands of views, while a shocking claim about belly fat gets hundreds of thousands. Meanwhile, the fundamentals remain unchanged and utterly ignored. Progressive overload, adequate protein, sufficient sleep, consistency over intensity. These principles have worked for decades and will work for decades more. But you can't build an empire on concepts this straightforward. The real cost manifests in the person who's tried 14 programs in 3 years and believes they're the problem. It's the loss of body literacy. The inability to distinguish between productive discomfort and injury signals. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't need a new program. They need permission to do less, more consistently, for longer than any viral trend will accommodate. The person who works out 3 times a week for 3 years will surpass the person who does brutal daily sessions for 3 months before burning out, every single time. Your body isn't a before photo waiting for an after. It's the vehicle that has to carry you through whatever comes next. So here's your challenge. Commit to boring consistency for 6 months. Choose basic movements. Progress gradually. Ignore what goes viral. Then decide whether the transformation photos were ever worth the cost. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more informative content.